All right, sticking with the economy, job openings at small employers remain well above pre-pandemic levels despite Fed rate increases. So let's hear from some small business owners themselves on how they are faring. Here with us now, registered Republican and managing partner and vice president of Paragon Honda in Queens, New York, is Brian Benstock, an independent voter in New York City restaurant owner Stratis. Morfogen, I think I got that right. Stratis, what policies do you want to hear about tonight on the debate stage? What concerns you most as a business owner and just as a citizen?
Well, it trickles down to even the local, what's happening here in New York City with the immigration crisis that's going on, and it's a crisis.
Yeah.
And the politicians never had a plan, and that's what really bothers me. I'm an independent. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. There was never a plan in place for these people. And, I just opened up a diner in Gramercy, and I have them coming in for jobs, but they don't have paperwork.
Yeah.
And if I hire them, I'm in trouble.
Right.
So, again, this is what happens when you get politicians trying to make small business decisions, and they usually fail at that.
Brian, I want to come to you because inflation has been plaguing small business in this country for the majority of President Biden's time in office. So how have you managed to make ends meet and kind of stay afloat as we look to see who's going to take the reins next?
It's not been easy, and inflation is a tax on the poor. It's a hidden tax on the poor that they can't escape. And so you hear all the Democrats talking about tax the rich, but what about the impact that inflation is having on business? I'm an automobile dealer. Our customers go, they buy a car, they get through the negotiation process of buying the car, only to find that their insurance has gone up by 25 or 30%. Bam! And that kills our business, which trickles down to kill manufacturing, advertising, and everything along the way. So what we've had to do, we've really had to pull back on the number of people that we're hiring to offset our reduced revenues due to the inflation costs.
Stratis, there's a policy floating out there, no tax on tips. You just mentioned you're in the restaurant business. How does that impact your business?
Tremendously. And we also have another tax that just hit us, the rent tax. And it says if you're over $250,000 a year in rent, which are all my restaurants, I don't know many decent-sized restaurants that pay less than $20,000 a month in rent, you got another 6% tax. The congestion price was going to be another one. This is what happens when they just want to tax. And unfortunately, I agree with Brian, the busboys and the dishwashers and the people that are working hard for an honest living are going to be affected by these decisions.
So if you reduce or take away taxes on their tips, do you think that's a good thing?
I think that the tips should be left alone. And that's where we always say, keep government out of their pockets.
You sound like you're an independent, but also you sound like you lean right of center with these issues that you're talking about. To both of you, compare your businesses, where they are today and where they were 4 years ago. Are you better off, Stratis? First to you.
4 years ago, we were, that was the heart of COVID. So obviously, but prior to COVID, we are better off before COVID than we are today.
Brian?
I would say the same thing, but our customers are really much worse off, and that's going to have an impact on us. The people that we deal with, we're on the front line. You're a restaurateur, so you're on the front line. You're seeing people cutting corners when they're going out, the number of times that they're going out, and what they're spending. And we're seeing the same thing in our business. The customers, the affordability factor, interest rates have gone up nearly 300%, right? Going from a low of about 2.5% to now 9 or more percent, and that puts the brakes on business. Why can't we put more money back in the people's hands so that they can pay their bills? This is what government should be doing.
No doubt about that. And again, you spend your money far better than the government spends your money for you. Brian, Stratis, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you
both.